Hello there. My name is Katie Zimmerman, and I'm the founder and CEO of Purl Adoption Advisory. Thank you so much for your interest in Purl Adoptions, an organization that educates and guides prospective adoptive families through the process of domestic adoption. We also offer resources and education to help prospective adoptive families for life after adoption, so that adoptive parents can be the best parents to their child. A little bit more about me. I'm a licensed attorney in the state of Arizona, but I left the active practice of law after my own adoption journey to start Purl. During my own journey to my daughter, the first thing I did was sign up with a popular Christian-based adoption consultant. Based on a recommendation through that consultant, I engaged a local adoption agency for my home study and ultimately adopted my daughter through that agency after a disrupted adoption and a tumultuous adoption process. I received no education or preparation at all for the nuances of adoption during this process, and I was ill-prepared when I took home my child. Although I adopted quickly with their support, the education and minimal support I received throughout our adoption journey left me with a feeling that there is a better way to adopt. In forming Purl, I decided that prospective adoptive families needed much more education, preparation, strategy, and guidance than I received during my own adoption journey. At Purl, we guide prospective adoptive families through every aspect of the domestic adoption process, including the following stages: the home study process, the adoption profile design, adoption preferences determination, adoption professional selection, the waiting period, the match, and the placement. And then we also guide families through the post-placement process. We are not a licensed adoption agency, and we do not work directly with expectant mothers. Instead, we work directly with adoptive families and work closely with numerous licensed agencies and licensed adoption attorneys who serve expectant mothers directly. Instead, we focus on education, support, and strategy for prospective adoptive parents during their adoption journeys. We are not a facilitator, and we do not recommend families use facilitators in their adoption journey. Instead, we prepare and educate families on the process and connect adoptive families with attorneys and agencies working directly with expectant parents on their adoption plans. Then we help families be more prepared after they take placement of a child in their home. Note that we do not specialize in foster to adopt or international adoption. Our focus is domestic adoption. Most of the children being placed for adoption in domestic adoption are newborns, although we do see some older children periodically. We also help families with education and preparation for the embryo adoption donation process through our more limited, stitched together education package. But the primary families we are serving are families interested in domestic infant adoption. We know many people come to us interested in adoption for family building purposes, often due to infertility, secondary infertility, or other medical conditions that have made it difficult, dangerous, or impossible for a family to have a child biologically. However, we honestly believe that every family is not meant to adopt, and that adoptive parents need empathy and adequate preparation in order to be successful in parenting a child through adoption. We believe that prospective adoptive families need to understand and appreciate the nuances and complexity of adoption. Adoption stems from loss, trauma, and often crisis because a woman or couple is unable or unwilling to parent the child. Women and couples are often seeking adoptive parents for their child due to a crisis situation or due to trauma, poverty, addiction, housing insecurity, sexual assault, or incarceration. Adoptive parents need to be prepared for those circumstances if they choose this path to parenthood. We help educate our families on the circumstances we see commonly in adoption, including drug and alcohol addiction or use, mental health challenges in the birth family, poverty, homelessness, sexual assault abuse, and previous history with the state's foster care system. In some cases, expectant parents are choosing adoption in order to avoid the foster care system and to have more choice in the type of adoptive family for their child and the type of contact and openness with their child after placement. We help our families through these nuances, providing education on the various perspectives in adoption to make our adoptive families more prepared than I was during my own adoption journey. We also help them determine their adoption preferences, their openness on race, gender, age of the child, openness to drug and alcohol exposure in utero, openness to mental health history in the birth family, openness to contact with the birth parents, and budget for their adoption. Based on these preferences and the family's makeup and geographic location, we then recommend licensed and experienced attorneys and agencies for our families to sign up with directly to see adoption opportunities. We believe adoptive families are more successful when they use a multi-attorney agency approach to adoption, giving them more opportunities to see and present to expectant parents considering adoption for their child. Prospective adoptive parents also receive exposure and networking just by being a Purl family. They see potential adoption opportunities from attorneys and agencies they are not signed up with directly because they are a Purl family and connected to those entities through Purl. Adoptions happen faster because of this multi-professional approach and due to Purl's contacts within the adoption community. We have a few different packages to help families through this process, depending on where families are in the adoption journey already and depending on their budget. We offer packages for families who have not yet started a home study and for families who may already have a home study in process or have a completed home study. Our pricing sheet is available at a link on the bottom of our services page of our website. We also offer design of the adoption profiles for families just wanting an adoption profile or through the Profile Plus package that can be added on to any of our traditional advisement packages or our eStitch video-based package. The adoption profile is a very important part of the adoption process, and families that use our profile design services have a great, authentic profile to use for their adoption journey. Families who want more guidance and one-on-one coaching during the process may be best suited for one of our traditional advisement packages, like the Pearls of Wisdom or the Double Knit Deluxe package. Those who are more budget conscious and comfortable with primarily a video-based platform for the education and coaching would do well with our eStitch package, a less expensive option. All families will receive a list of recommended adoption professionals, a live coaching call on adoption professional selection, access to our monthly group education calls, and 3 months of case-by-case analysis with one of our advisors for reviewing and assessing adoption opportunities that they receive from any source. All our families will receive access to our amazing Purl community and all the resources and educational materials we have gathered to help adoptive families since our inception in 2017. We hope that if you decide domestic adoption is right for you, that you consider Purl to guide and prepare you for this challenging but beautiful process. Families who work with Purl have better adoption experiences because they are both more prepared and more educated for both the adoption process and life after adoption. But more importantly, all members of the triad, including birth parents and adoptees, have better experiences due to the guidance we give to prospective adoptive families and adoptive families. We hope you'll check out the countless positive reviews we have on Google, Yelp, and Facebook to better understand the experiences and feelings from past Purl families. Once you've watched this video, if you'd like to schedule a free consultation with us to learn more about adoption and our services, please complete the Getting Started with Adoption form on our website. And thank you again for your interest in Purl. We look forward to talking with you.